Well, it's gonna be a longer run back to Texas. Oh,
yeah! Johnny, a modern golfer's hitting that ball too far. Yeah, too far, like, are they hitting the ball too far, Johnny? Well, I reckon they are. They'll have to do something about that or they'll stuff up the whole bloody game. Yeah, I suppose. But that's not something that I'm angry about at golf, Johnny. Well, what are you worrying about? What I'm angry about is drunken, bloody, rude, obnoxious crowds. Yeah, crowds. The spectators. Unruly behaviour? Well, I suppose. Have you got any examples of this, Johnny?
Apparently, the Waste Management Open was such a drunken mess that officials were forced to suspend the sale of alcohol on the event's final day.
Big Lou! Big Lou! Big Lou!
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
A lot of people are saying, better start praying to God, because this is like, this is just the start.
Now, golf in particular, Johnny, has had a long, hard, proud bloody history of everybody being fucking respectfully quiet while some bloody bloke up on the tee trying to tee off with the best of his ability. And you got people bloody yelling out and fucking falling over and bloody screaming and yelling. It's a disgrace. Oh, Johnny, I don't think...
It gives me the boo-boo face about tennis and golf. Why is it that they can't have any noise while they're playing? That makes no sense. Every other sport, they literally could have noise, people yelling at them, calling them names, even sick stuff.
Yeah. Now, just to cast your mind back, we had a guy taking a wee. We had fights, people sliding down on their belly during events, Billy Horschel getting abused, Zach Johnson, Ryder Cup captain, getting abused because of his Ryder Cup captaincy supposed mistakes at the Marco Simone golf course last year. Jordan Spieth, another person, got ejected because he was getting abused. It was absolutely, well, in my mind, ridiculous.
Even the merest whisper of anybody bloody talking, well, they can fuck the shot right up. Right, Why? Because they're concentrating on the shot, Johnny. Right, yes, right. Yeah, fuck the shot right up. We don't want people in golf or any other sport where they're supposed to be quiet. We don't want these bloody professionals fucking their shots up. Come on. So, Johnny, where did all this stuff start? How come we're supposed to be quiet for some sports and not quiet at all for others? How did it come about, Johnny? Well, apparently, this being quiet at some sports and not at some others all stems from the bloody, the elites back in the past. Maybe the king, say at tennis, the king or his lords might have been playing tennis.
To understand the reason behind, let's talk about the first tennis spectators. They belong to the aristocracy. For honor and sports, kings and nobles would watch as their sons or relatives rally the ball. Silence was expected during a match because those watching would most likely be in the presence of the king, in whom no one should ever speak without his permission. This custom became established over time. As a spectator, you are expected to follow unspoken etiquette, unlike any other major sporting event.
And the general spectators couldn't say to the king, yell out to him in 1850, "Get your ass into gear, your majesty!" I mean, they couldn't be saying that, could they? So they had to be quiet. Deathly quiet.
Shh. Quiet please. Grigor Dimitrov ska serva på en viktig poäng. Och finns det någonting som är häftigare på en tennismatch än den där totala tystnaden? Fullsatta
Yeah, well, we at the Ask Johnny channel, we agree with what he just said wholeheartedly. Right, yeah. Same as golf, it was a very elitist sort of game and the people that were playing it were very important. So the servants and caddies and whoever else was following them around had to be deathly quiet. Yeah, it's just bloody what they did to the kings and the fucking dukes and all that sort of stuff. That's how they were back then. Yeah, everyone just sits quietly. Shh. And then you got the grand old game of billiards or snooker. I mean, you had the kings and everybody playing this bloody game. They had to concentrate, by Jesus, they had to concentrate. And any whisper or bloody snigger or anything from the crowd could completely throw their game.
A bit of noise in the crowd there. I don't know what that sounded like. It sounded a bit strange.
So they've sort of carried on that tradition. Where you get football and that, they were generally a rowdy bunch of bastards, even back then in the 1850s and 60s. Yeah, I suppose. They were rowdy, they were going on and were getting drunk and all that sort of stuff, and it sort of developed. That's how you could act at that particular bloody sport. But it is a bit funny, you know. I think it's what you get used to.
12. And even then, Nathan said I was in a real tough game. But this is...
So in summing up, Johnny, I've sort of come around, as I've been ranting and raving over the last 5 minutes on this, I've sort of come around a bit to saying that perhaps these golfers and tennis players and snooker players should just get a fucking grip of themselves. Right, yeah. And just not worry about the bloody crowd noise at all. And after a while, the players in these sports, Johnny, they'd become bloody used to someone calling them a useless prick, just as they're taking a very important shot. And I think in a couple of generations, they'll be screaming and yelling and drunken bastards at the snooker, the tennis, and at the golf too. And it's probably a good thing. Oh, Johnny, we shouldn't be encouraging that. Come on.